Hi, friends and family. Welcome back to another pour. So, this is part two of the blind swirl pour. And this was meant to be an example of another color being used for the blind swirl pour. So, for this particular example of the blind swirl pour, I decided to use gold as the accent color. And then the two colors that I'm using are the neon violet or neon purple by Artist Loft and titanium white by Liquitex Basics. And so I started off with the gold, then I went with the white, then the neon purple or violet, and then white, and just alternate it that way. Now, the difference between this one and the one that I just posted a little while ago is that I use more gold on this one or more of the accent color in this one because I love purple against gold or gold against purple. So I figured if the gold takes over, it wouldn't be too bad. So I decided to go ahead and do that. And so for this one, then I did the gold. For the next cup, I did the gold first, then the purple, then the white, then the purple, and alternate that way. And then once the cups are poured, then the next decision is, well, which one do I use first, the purple or the white? And so when I say white, the white layers are thicker, and when I say purple, then the purple layers are thicker. So I decided to go in with the white, and now I am pouring the purple, and I had a little extra paint, so I went back and forth on the outside with this gold, which was in the middle. And I didn't want to waste my gold because I love it. And so I decided to utilize it in the areas where I didn't have any paint, and just to tie one swirl line to the next. So here I decided to use my extra gold that was in the middle of the cup to pour in between those swirl lines to sort of tie them together. And I'm just trying to utilize as much of my gold as possible because I love what this gold does, or what this paint does. So didn't want to waste any of it. Now I am figuring out at this point that I did start off wanting to use a 24 by 30-inch canvas. And for that, I need about 25, 26 ounces of paint. And so I figured, oh, if I use two 16-ounce cups, it's going to be fine. I'm just going to have a little extra paint, so it'll be fine because I'm not going to use any flow extender or anything like that. But I did change my mind and ended up using a 20 by 20 canvas, and for that I only need about 14 15 ounces of paint, which means one cup would have been plenty. So now I am going to see this as a happy accident, and what I'll do is just pour half of this paint onto another canvas. And so what I'm going to be doing is I'm basically just moving the paint back and forth so it moves as a whole. And then I will pour half of this onto the second canvas. And that should still be plenty of paint because I really only need between 14 and 15 ounces of paint per each canvas. So, yeah, there's plenty of paint for both canvases. And so I'm basically using the canvas sort of like the way the Massey Art Studio gentlemen use a dustpan, but I'm using my canvas. Now, had I moved away from the canvas here, it would have been perfect, but I decided to tilt this canvas on top of the other canvas, and so I dripped quite a bit. And so here you'll see that here at this point, I mean, these lines are just incredible. So I'm loving what they're doing, and and I would be fine if this is the composition I was left with, but I am going to try to cover my entire canvas. And like I mentioned earlier, in doing so, I dripped quite a bit onto the next canvas. And I mean, I saw that it was happening, but I was fine with it because I thought that the extra paint would be insurance that the canvas would be covered, because I didn't really know if I did half of the paint on the top one and half on the other one, so I didn't want the bottom one to not have enough. But I ended up dripping too much. I think had I not dripped so much, then the composition on my second canvas would have been a bit more stunning. It's still beautiful, and it definitely is a happy accident because both pieces are beautiful, and I'm sure they're gonna find a lovely home together, because instead of having a 20 by 20, now I ended up with a 20 by 40, and it is pretty nice. I mean, it really is. But look at this mess that I was left with. The good thing is that there are areas where there's a lot more solid, and then certainly underneath, the paint is not as muddied as it is up here. So what I'm doing is basically I'm going to tilt from one side to the other. I'm going to tilt to the corner and then to the opposite corner, and just try to open up as much as I can, especially the bigger parts, the bigger sections of color that I have. And also, I know that if by tilting or by stretching the paint, then I'm allowing for potential cells to come up. And so the more you stretch the paint, the more likely it is that you're going to get cells. And so I'm also doing that because I would love to get some solid color cells to come up in between these more muddied colors. So they're not muddied. I'll show you in a close-up that they're actually the muddy-ish looking parts are actually gold. And so I think once it dries, it's going to be really stunning, and it's super shimmery. It's hard for the camera to capture that. Also, I wasn't completely centered in my pour, but yeah. So here, now that I covered most of the canvas, what I'm gonna now try to do is these areas that have the more intense colors, I'm going to try to make those look like lines. So I'm going to try to stretch them as lines, and just to make it less busy. And I think by tilting majority of the more muddied parts, it's going to leave me with a pretty stunning piece. It almost like, if you were looking at it in real life, you would see it. It looks like a marble pour. It's incredibly beautiful. It's sort of very translucent white on top with like parts of purple and gold underneath. It's just so beautiful. And like I said, this is definitely a happy accident because, well, I just had way too much paint on my canvas, and I could have just tilted half of that paint off and been done with it, but I didn't want to waste any of it. So anyhow, now let's just try to pop some of these air bubbles and then take you in for a close-up. you'll see how shimmery and shiny this really is. So from above it looks kind of muddy-ish, but what it is blended, so it gave me these fantastic shimmering gold areas. And wow. And you know, here you see all these air bubbles that Haley, the heat gun, is unable to help me pop. So still, I need to work on that. All right, so here's the dry piece for the second painting that I did. It looked super busy when it was wet. I think I remember saying so. But now it still looks kind of busy, but they look more like the here at the bottom part. To me, this looks like kind of like a purple ocean, and the water going back and forth, and it just created so much movement. Oh, so pretty. So this is the first piece, and I see like a wolf here. So I'm calling this piece, it's a leader of the pack. It was the first one that we did, so it was the first, so it's the leader. And I see it, I mean, it could be a lady dancing or something. Or it could be like a warrior with like their arrowheads on the back. Yeah, but maybe it is, and that part is like the horse. Oh, wow, maybe. What do you think? What do you see there? Oh. All right, let's take a look at the other parts of this painting. So I love, 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 love this neon violet or neon purple from Artist Loft because it dries so beautiful. It hasn't failed me yet. Wow. Yeah, I love it. Okay, friends, as always, thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. I appreciate your support. We'll see you at the next one. Thank you so much.